like, because they're kind of interested in it. How much money do you make, like, weekly? I said, and maybe this is a question that is that you ask all the time, like, how much money do I have to make to either one, replace my current income, two, is it worth leaping and doing this? Hey everyone, what is up? This is Gilson Vergara back again with another video, and this is Do My Life. If you are new around here, it's a channel for like entrepreneurs who are into obviously making some money, staying healthy, love tech. I do a lot of tech reviews, or I like a lot of tech reviews, and anything automotive. I love cars. So if that's something that you're into, or things that you're into, please do not hesitate to gently hit the like button and subscribe to your channel, and more importantly, share the channel amongst your friends or whoever you believe will benefit from the channel. So today, it's another day, another dollar for me. I'm doing another hospital run, a dedicated route, just like the previous video. But today I wanted to talk about, because I just thought about it, and I figure these impromptu videos are probably the only way I can do these videos, because it's literally the only way, because I'm on the road all the time. A question I got asked yesterday, because I went to a family event yesterday, a housewarming party, is how much do you drive to make the money you make, right? Because somebody had asked me, like, because they're kind of interested in it, how much money do you make, like, weekly? I said, historically, since I started, I make about like 1,000 to 1,200 a week. That's on like a minimum thing, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty much just not trying. That's how much I do. If I really want to do longer runs and stuff like that, I'll easily make, in that 17, maybe even 2,000 range. But you're out there. You're literally out there. Almost like the OTR driver type stuff. And maybe this is a question that is that you ask all the time, like, how much money do I have to make to either one, replace my current income, two, is it worth leaping and doing this? So I just wanted to give my opinions on that, because it is, I'm almost 40 years old. It is kind of scary if you're not used to being entrepreneurial or taking risks like that. It is scary leaving a corporate job or something that is maybe not cushy, but is consistent, right? That's pretty much, as I get older, I notice that I am nowhere near as ambitious as I used to be, or daring. I am still ambitious. I am still going after things that I want and love in my life, on the back end, this stuff and whatever, but not as crazy as I used to be. Like, just on the whim, let's take this money and dump it here. I got to think it through now. And maybe that's because that's just me. Comment down below if that's you as well. But many older people who are wanting to transition into a new field, new industry, something for themselves, they are tired of the corporate ladder, the corporate life, the feeling of it's never good enough, right? The feeling of, oh, I just hit a pinnacle milestone, they want more, and then it's never enough. I'm here to tell you that I know how you feel, and in this first year, because I'm still trying to know the inner workings of what it is to be a medical courier, independent courier, whatever, I know I'm not going to make nowhere near what I used to make in the corporate world. Like, maybe I'm taking a nice pay cut, but maybe at the same time, you have to factor your net income rather than your gross income, because $120,000, $150,000 sounds good on paper on your W-2, but for those of you who actually see your gross and then your net and everything in between, you're like, oh, what the hell happened to that? That's a lot of taxes. So I have discovered that being in this field, or in this industry at the present moment, there are ways where I will not really be paying taxes. Like, I figured in my brain that there are ways that I have to show income, because the only issue that I'll ever come into, more than likely, and as is, I'm so fresh at this, here in America at least, there's so many write-offs you can do doing what I do, or you can do standardized or whatever, but there's so many things that you can write off that you sometimes, depending on what you're trying to achieve that year, whether it be buying a house, buying a car, you got to show income. In this field, sometimes your expenses will outweigh your quote-unquote income. So a lot of it is like pure money in your pocket, right? It's like because you know already that you need to stash away some money for the expenditures for this vehicle, gas, maintenance, and all those things. So that right there, you can write that off all day. You know already that you're gonna have to prepare for taxes, because you're gonna have to pay something more than likely, or very little. And I've been asking a lot of these industry questions to a lot of the old-time contractors that I work with, and some of them are like, I just show very little minimum income because this job literally puts way more money in my pocket than my previous job. Back to my point, it's really up to you how much money you really want to make. It's really up to you how much hustling you want to do. At the end of the day, the ball's in your court 1,000%. I know everyone's life is different. You have families, you have kids, you have this, you have that. So thinking about that, right now, don't just, if you go to try to become an independent courier, the number one thing that should be in your mind is, if you have a corporate job, is this job going to, or is this new adventure going to replace my current income and sustain my living expenses, or can maintain your current standard of living? That's the number one thing here. Because at the end of the day, if this particular field does not do that for you, it's not for you. You have to find some other means to try to make more income, or try to replace your income. I was in a position where things didn't go right with my previous company that I don't agree with. So I didn't plan for this, to open up this business, but I already had plans to, do something on my own on the side while I'm doing a corporate thing. And if it does pan out, jump onto that, which you can very well do in your guys' lives or whatever. But because of how things went down on my end, I had to just boom, take this, and then this was the only opportunity at that time. Because I didn't want to go back to another corporate job. I just don't like. It's just not for me anymore. It's not for me anymore. I am used to managing over 200 people, just multitasking to the point where it seems impractical. So I'm like, you know what? I have the fortitude, I have the ability and the work ethic to do 18 hours a day for a company. Why not do it on my own? Why not do it and take a chance on myself to try to get this and make it happen for myself? So that's the chance that I took, starting this part-time and then eventually turn full-time. So the added pressure that I have within my life, and maybe that you'll have in your life, is, can I replace the income that I was getting at my previous company, my corporate job, doing this? And I can tell you, my answer is yes. You can replace it. In my world, you can. In my situation, I can, and more. Because now I am an independent contractor. So the free time that I have, I am trying my best to link up with other companies, brokerage firms, companies that provide independent contractor work, and I have my pick of the litter, because I can choose where I can negotiate and choose where I want to be and how much I want to get paid. So it is, in essence, I am controlling my situation. The biggest issue that I have is that I'm on the road all the time. I'm trying my best to understand the business, so when the time comes where I make a good grip of money and money's getting put away, which I do, to reinvest and things like that, I will then either, one, just take this company and put a driver on it, because one, I would have understood how much money this truck makes. And then from there, take a portion for myself, including, minus the expenses and all those things that it incurs, and pay a driver off. That's the goal for me, to be somewhat like a master courier, and maybe even buying more vehicles to do the same work and replicating myself. Because I don't view this as a mom and pop store setup where I'm just doing the work. No. And I hope you guys don't think you can, which is fine. That's not my goal here. My goal is, just like in the Philippines, like my businesses in the Philippines, is one, understand the business to the point where I can say I've been in that position, I know the position, I know the ins and outs of it. Okay, now I can train and reteach somebody the same thing, and then let them do it. I'll take a smaller cut, but it's a passive income at that point. That's the goal here for me. The first thing I ask one of the first things I ask when I try to link up or get in bed with a company is, will you allow me to hire other drivers to run my route? And they're like, yeah, we can. They're like, it's like 50-50. Some of them will say, no, you are your own, your own worker, or they're like, yeah, we can talk about becoming a master courier in the future. So I understand it's a liability for them because they put their name on it. But for me, it's just an opportunity. So that's one thing I ask when I'm, just negotiating with them. Back to my point on the money that you can make, it's really up to you. Local jobs are basically on volume. If you're gonna be independent courier and they're paying you $14, $15 a job, which is fine, but it has to make sense. Give me at least 2 or 3 jobs in an hour in a close proximity locally, then you're making money. And understanding and asking the company, how consistent is your local flow or your local work? Because they can tell you all day, yeah, we have this, we have that, we have crazy accounts, but when you actually do it, it's dry. You might be lucky if you have 2 or 3 jobs or whatever in a day. Doesn't make any sense. These are things that I ask the company that, when they're looking for independent couriers, how busy are you? What is the average local person do? How many stops can they do in a day type thing? Minimum to maximum. Those are things I ask. 2, I ask about how often, do you guys do long hauls? Because long hauls for certain companies, they'll pay 70 cents and above per mile that you do. So I ask all these questions because I'm in it literally. Obviously, we're here to make some money. I'm not going to waste my time because every day this car incurs a cost because I have to pay the note every single month. So I'm always trying to stay ahead of the game. And on top of that, this is my full-time thing. There's a daily amount that I need to make, as in okay, this is my survival cost. This is the cost, this is the number that I need to survive. It could be $150 a day, $10 a day, whatever. Understanding that you need to know that number, because then and only then you'll understand how much do I need to work in one day to do this. Now, factoring your expenses and all that stuff. What is the lowest number I need to make sure my bills get paid and I get to eat? That's your survival cost. That's your cost of operations in this particular system. Many of you might say oh shit, you're out there 7 days a week. When do you have time? Understand that in my life, it makes sense. I'm a workaholic. I don't stop working. When I go home, when I have free time, I'm doing decals. I'm making decals. I'm making videos. It fits within my life. Understand that I don't have kids, so that's why my life is I have more freedom. Ruby and I don't have any kids as of yet, so we're just hustling. She is a real estate agent, so she's also hustling as well. And we have that good mix. We spend time together, but we also understand the significance of building a future for ourselves. So that's what works for me. I don't know about you. My wife has no problem running 7 days a week for me because she'll come along with me if she has free time. But understand that it's not hard work. It's just driving. I do want to do a video on like driver health, because many of you guys who are into this, you got to make sure you take care of your body while you're doing this, because it is taxing to the body in a sense of, you know, you're sitting down for long periods of time. There's certain things that you need to do to make sure that you guys are okay out there. Because one, you got to be fresh. You got to stay fresh. You got to just, you know, we can do a video about that. Comment down below if you want to do a video about that. But I'm going to chop this video up and things like that. Hopefully this video gave you some type of value as to, is this really for you? Because that is the number one thing that you don't want to make that leap or that jump into. Yeah, I've been hearing about this all day, and they've been making lots of money. It's like literally we are bombarded with so many ads, especially on YouTube, and even some of these videos that if you want to, you know, you want that passive income life, this and that, whatever, and it's kind of overwhelming. So I wanted to give you a more a realistic point of view. Is this really for me? Because some people are not going to be able to do it. You got to really check and understand where you're sitting at hustle-wise. Like, where are you really sitting at when you want to hustle? You can talk all day. You can literally talk about it all day. I'll hustle, I grind, whatever. But are you out there? Literally out there? Because being an independent contractor, just like in sales, the results are going to be clear by your paycheck. That's the results that you're going to have by your paycheck. You cannot complain because you have nobody to fall on but you. This is the most amazing thing about being an entrepreneur, and especially being like a lone wolf, sole proprietorship just for you right now. You have nobody to blame but yourself. And that's something that we can talk about later, about leadership, accountability, and things like that. Where do you really sit within yourself? And if this is really for you, don't be enticed by the money that I make or I post and stuff like that, because there's a lot that goes behind that, right? And I don't really believe all the YouTube people that say like, yeah, passive income, this, 10,000 a month. That's a lot of work, man. Trust me. What are you willing to give up in your personal life to get certain monies? Because I still work about 16 to 18 hours a day, but now it's for me. I make my videos, edit my videos, do my little decal business, t-shirt printing business on top of this. This is the most constant income stream flow that I have now, on top of the other income streams that I have, because I'm on my own. I gotta make do. Utility bills, the utility company is not going to say, "Oh, Gil, you're an independent contractor. Okay, we'll give you a discount. Oh, you know, yeah, we'll give you a discount on water." No, doesn't stop. That meter keeps running. I got to make ends meet. Where my ambitions are and where my ends have to meet, right there somewhere in the middle is where I am. Literally, that's where I am. Thank you so much for listening to me. As always, I really appreciate it. Just some plugs here. If you guys are looking for any real estate, buying, selling, or anything in Virginia Beach or in the Virginia area, let me know. Email my wife directly right here. If you guys need any t-shirt printing, decals, let me know. For some channels, which I have nothing against, they ask for like donations and stuff like that. I'm weird about that. If you want to support this channel and support me, you know, order a decal. You know, whatever you want. I work from home, so I'm not really crazy priced. And thank you once again for, you know, dropping by. I really appreciate it. Literally, I'm in traffic, dude. I'm literally in traffic right now. So this is something, if you guys suffer through crazy road rage, this is not for you. I appreciate your time, as always. Comment down below with any questions that I can help you with. I can make future videos on, because these are more impromptu videos. I'm not really planning this, because this is the only way I think I can connect that bridge of communication and give you some form of value while I'm out here driving. So yeah, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.